Good morning, candidates. Now, today we will talk about another very important test of GTO called Lecturette. Now, in this session, what all would I talk about? What are the salient points pertaining to this test? What are the differences between a group discussion and a lecturette? And number 3, do's and don'ts that you need to keep in mind when you are, taking part in lecturette. Okay, now this is a third test of the GTO. This test is it is an indoor test and it is conducted on the first day of the GTO's test, but the third day of SSB. Okay, this test carries a formula called 333. What is this 333? You will have a choice of picking one topic out of the 3 given topics. You will be given 3 minutes to prepare for the topic that you have chosen and 3 minutes to deliver your lecturette. So, that is why it is also sometimes called as a 333 test. Okay. Which are the qualities that are checked? There are 3 qualities which the GTO will check through this test. Number 1, knowledge. You will only be able to deliver a good lecturette if you have adequate knowledge about the topic that you have chosen. Number 1. Number 2, how good are your communication skills? How good are you in expressing your thoughts in the English language in a lecturette? And the third is confidence. How confident are you about what you are speaking? So, these are the 3 things that he will check. Okay, now what are the differences? This you need to know. There are some subtle differences between a group discussion and a lecturette. So, let us have a look at these differences. In a lecturette, only one person speaks at a time, but in a group discussion, it is free for all. All members, 18, 19, 20 candidates, part of a group, can speak and express their thoughts simultaneously at the same time. In lecturette, only one person is allowed to speak. Okay. Number 2, you will be more nervous in lecturette, and the reason for that is because there would be no one to bail you out. Let us say while speaking, while delivering your lecturette, if you get stuck, nobody is allowed to speak. But in a group discussion, if you become silent even for a second, somebody will immediately barge in and he will begin to speak. So, your nervousness would get reduced. Also, you will be more nervous in lecturette because all the candidates of your group and also the GTO, their eyes are riveted on the candidate delivering the lecturette. So, this will make you even more nervous. Number 3, lecturette is of a very short duration, only 3 minutes, but a group discussion may last much longer. It could last for as much as 15, 20 minutes or even beyond 20 minutes. Okay, number 4, the GTO's focus is on one candidate only, the candidate on the podium delivering his lecturette. But in a group discussion, the GTO has to observe all 19, 20 candidates at the same time. So, for this reason also, you would be more nervous in a lecturette. And the most important difference between a GD and lecturette, in a lecturette, you can adopt any position. You can speak on both sides of the topic, but in a group discussion you have to pick up a position either in favor or against the given topic. Okay, now let us look at some do's of the lecturette. What are the things that you must do when you are delivering your lecturette? Number 1, before you begin to speak, when you come on the podium, you must take 5 or 10 seconds to tell your audience means the other members of your group, what is the topic that you are going to speak on, because they would not know. You would have picked up 3 chats and you would have decided on which topic you are going to speak, but the group may not know about it. So, when you come on the podium, you must, before you deliver your lecturette, you must tell them what is the topic that you have chosen. Okay. Now, number 2, if the topic warrants an explanation, you must take 10, 15, 20 seconds to explain that topic. Just to give you an example, let us say if the topic is, should live-in relationship be acceptable in the Indian society? Now, let us say you know what a live-in relationship is, but I do not know about it, or some member of your group may not know about it. So, you must take 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds to explain the topic. What exactly is live-in relationship? Live-in relationship is when a man and a woman, they stay together under one roof without the bonding of marriage. It could be a boy and a girl or a man and a woman staying together without getting married. So, this process is called a live-in relationship. Similarly, if the topic is should MNCs be allowed to operate in India? So, let us say I am a member of that group, but I do not know what an MNC is. So, you must take 5-10 seconds to explain. The full form is multinational companies, foreign companies who operate in India and employ our own people, and all the profits get siphoned to the country of their origin. So, this process is called MNCs. So, should they be allowed to operate in India or not? So, take some time, 10 seconds, 20 seconds to explain that topic. Number 3, speak in English only. All the tests of SSB are supposed to be conducted in English. However, now please bear that in mind. While speaking, if you get stuck or if you want to use a few words of Hindi, that is absolutely fine, no problems about it. During this lecturette, even if you speak one odd sentence in Hindi, it is fine. But after speaking that sentence, you must revert back to the English track as soon as possible. This will not go against you. But it should not happen that you started delivering your lecturette in English, got stuck, and you reverted to Hindi and then continued delivering your lecturette in Hindi till the very end. If you do this, this may go against you. Okay. Number 4, conclude at the end. Once you have delivered your lecturette, don't just step down from the podium, thank the audience. Just say thank you and then step down from the stage. Okay, now what are the don'ts of lecturette? What are the things that you must not do? Okay, number 1, this is what I said, don't come straight to the topic and begin to deliver your lecturette. Explain what your topic, what is your chosen topic, tell the audience about it. It will only take maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds, not more than 5 seconds. Okay. You have the liberty of standing behind the podium. There will be a podium, a lecture stand in the center of the stage. Now, any candidate who is very sure of himself, he has a choice of either standing behind the podium or standing astride. It is entirely up to you. But if you stand behind the podium, you must not lean on it. If you lean on it, it will project a very bad body posture. You must balance your entire body weight on both legs. Leaning on that podium will indicate something, a lack of, surety, confidence. It is an indication of nervousness. So, don't do that. Okay, now, while speaking, do not look at the GTO. He is not part of your group. Look at your audience. The audience is a member of your group. So, this is a point you have to bear in mind. Look at them eyeball to eyeball. Okay, speech, a very important factor in your selection or rejection. Your speech has to be loud enough so that everybody can hear what you are saying. Connected with that, there should be clarity in your speech. Every word that you speak, people should be able to understand what you are speaking. Okay. I told you, in a lecturette, you are welcome to speak on both sides of the topic, which you do not have the liberty of doing in a group discussion. So, the 3-minute time allotted to you can be gainfully employed by speaking both in favor and against. Right? Let's take the same example. If you were to be given the topic of your lecturette is demonetization. In a group discussion, you would only have spoken for or against the topic. In a lecturette, you can speak on both the merits and demerits of this process. So, both are allowed, and this is how you can fill that entire 3-minute time by speaking on both sides of that given topic. Okay. Please use the full time, 3-minute time. Many candidates only use half of that time or even less than half. So, if you do not use your complete time, allotted time, the GTO will not grade you favorably. So, please make sure you use the complete time allotted to you. Then your participation will become very effective. Okay. Now, the 3-minute preparatory time that is given to you, you can jot down notes, points on a piece of paper. But when you come on stage, you cannot use any pieces of paper on which you have jotted down your points. So, please have those sheets of paper given to the GTO, do not use that. You cannot take any paper to the podium. Okay. Now, one tactics that you must apply, let us say you do not know much about that topic, how can you use the full 3-minute time? Very good idea pertaining to this point is you can consume the complete time by adding facts and figures, examples and statistics to whatever you are speaking. By giving examples of whatever you are talking about, it will give you enough time to use that complete 3-minute time. Okay. Now, let us look at the don'ts of lecturette. What are the things you must not do? Do not exchange any pleasantries. What does it mean? When you come on stage, you do not have to say hello, hi, good morning. This is not required. Just come on stage, give your topic and begin to speak. This is not required to be done neither in a group discussion nor in a lecturette. Just tell the audience your topic and start speaking. Okay. Do not keep looking at the GTO. I told you he is not a member of your group. He is an assessor. You have to only look at your group and not at the assessor. Number 3, do not look down sideways or here and there when you are speaking. If you do that, it will give an impression that you are not sure of yourself. You are feeling nervous. You are not confident of yourself. Number 4, do not wander away from the given topic. Stick to the topic. You can give examples, you can give facts and figures, but do not digress from the given subject. Many people do this, so keep that in mind. Now, with a little practice, lecturette is very easy. It is a very simple process and all that it needs is the time that you need to use is 3 minutes. So, with practice, it will come out very well. You can also apply the mirror technique. It is a very good technique. I will talk about it some other time. And if you apply this technique and if you time it on your mobile phone to see how much time does it take to use the 3-minute time, allotted time, with practice it will come out absolutely fine. So, thank you very much. More about the GTO test subsequently. Thanks a lot.